Hi, this is Kristen Holland, and I'm going to share with you our overview of Data Meeting 5 between me and Brittany. We both use Google Docs in our individual groups, so it was easy to share our action plans and data meeting information through Google Docs. We were able to share with each other what we had done already. So we chose to continue with that because it was very simple. So our plans for our meeting was to review each other's action plan. Then we were going to fill out notes on a Google Doc for us to be able to organize and look at each other's notes previous to meeting live. And then we met live on Blue Jeans Sunday night, and we discussed notes and added our own throughout the process. Okay, so we pulled out each other's exploratory questions and SMART goals, and then we have our peer responses. So I'm going to give a brief overview from my side. A lot of what Brittany had was really great. So I was just looking for a lot of clarification points. And that's something that we discussed when we met live, was that these were things that their group had already thought about and talked about, but maybe wasn't something that fit in the table for me as an outsider to understand. So overall, I thought her plan was really good. Looks like it's going to work really well. It's going to involve an entire 7th grade team adjusting their teaching in the classroom, which is cool because we were talking about routines, seeing them change in all of their classrooms so that the students understand what's expected of them. Again, here with the modeling of appropriate responses, we talked about, when do students start modeling the responses instead of teachers? And again, that was just very specific detailing stuff that wasn't available in the chart, but that was something that they had already talked about. So I went through and we talked about each individual tactic that they had talked about in their group and what I thought about it. And there was a lot more conversation here than what we wrote, but the purple is the notes that she took for herself as we were going over it, which is a pretty cool thing. We can go back and see each other's notes on it. Overall, I thought that her group's plan would definitely improve learning. It seems like it was going to be very student-centered, so I think that there's a high chance of success. My only suggestion, again, was how can the team work together to make it less stressful for individual teachers, but I think that's something that after she explained that this was pretty much a whole 7th grade team, that kind of clarified itself. And then a couple of tech tools that I suggested for her was to use student examples online to post good and bad versions of questioning so that they always have that model for them, even if they're doing things at home, and to use Google Docs or something similar so that teachers can lesson plan together. Okay, and then when Brittany reviewed mine, it was interesting to see because she's not a music teacher, so she was looking more at the data than the content, which was actually really important in this situation. We're looking at the learning gaps and why were they there. So a lot of this beginning chunk, she's asking me questions about the information that I presented her so that she can get a little more information on. So once she asked these questions, she understood a little bit more about where we were coming from with our original data. The biggest suggestion that she had for us, and I thought was really important, was that our SMART goals have a percentage included in them because ours were a little more open, so it made it a little harder to be measurable at the end. So she gave us some suggestions for not changing the content or the idea behind our SMART goals, but making them more measurable. And then when we're looking at implementation, she said that she thought ours was definitely realistic and that she really liked the project-based learning assessment strategy at the end, which is something that didn't happen before. And of course, having kids writing music is pretty cool. So it would be a neat project to see them do. Does it seem like teaching and learning will improve? She said yes. She thought, especially with me using more technology and using the PBL, that there would be a large improvement in student data at the end. Her suggestions, again, were mostly based around those SMART goals. And then she listed a couple of tech tools that we could use, like Padlet for having students brainstorm together, using rubrics online, or having students use rubric generators online to create a rubric for their project, and just a whole lot of other things for the PBL assessment. We did talk about online music writing tools, and one thing that's a problem with that is it kind of lets you cheat because it doesn't let you go over the amount that's allotted. So we discussed how we could do a paper version first, really grade that for whether or not they understand the content, and then allow them to use a text tool so that they can really hear what their music sounds like and present them to the class. So overall, our data meeting 5 was really successful. We both came away with a lot of good ideas for us to include for our final project.